Hello children, welcome to 8th special class. Children, in the last class, we learned a topic called human rights. There we learned what you meant by human rights, and we also referred the human rights as totally different from the fundamental rights. Right? What do you mean by human rights? Human right is nothing but natural right. That right which we are gained by from our birth itself, that is called as a human rights. So regarding the human rights, we have seen so many revolutions that has been took place in Russia, France as well as many other nations, and we also seen that the concept called human rights has been born from the time of the civilization, where a people realize that the need of a human rights, isn't it children? They, because see, as when we are born as a human being, we are free because the human organs are free to move. You take a leg or you take a hand, right? It will keep on working. So we cannot restrict our hand in movement. We cannot tell that hand, now don't move, don't shake. Such things we cannot tell, or we cannot control our organ, right? What the hand will do, hand has to move, finger has to move, right? So the same time, when we like, we can write, okay? When we want, we can see. This is all human rights. So that for our human rights, nobody can restrict. So when these basic human rights are not given to human beings, then the revolution has took place. As a part of that, we have seen first in Japan, the city like Athens, Sparta, there the revolution has took place regarding the human rights. Then a great philosopher like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they are working for a human rights. Then finally they understand the meaning of a human rights. What is a human rights and what is the importance of a human rights, that they are found it. Okay. Later on, we also seen that the Magna Carta Act, which was in 1215, where England people revolted against the England king, because there the king started to interfere in the matter of a church. It means that people of England were not allowed to enjoy the religious movement. They were objected in each and every matter of a religion. So they are in a condition where they are not able to tolerate the king anymore. So what they have done, they revolted against the king, so that the England government, East India Company, sorry, not a East India Company, it is a England company, what it has done. So they had passed Magna Carta Act in 1215, where they had promised the common people that hereafter king will not interfere in any of the religious or church affairs, so that people are free to enjoy the religion of their own. Okay, then that is of a Magna Carta Act. As an impact of a Magna Carta Act, we can see the French Revolution, the Russian Revolution, American War of Independence. So as these three revolutions as main aim to get the independence, right? Why the independence? Because when a people are restricted to do something, it is like they are dependent on a people, or they are under the bondage of some other people, isn't it so? First it was Russia, like Montesquieu, Rousseau and John Locke. Because of these people influence, Russia got independence. Russia was liberated. Okay. Later on France liberated, then American War of Independence has took place, and America also finally liberated. Okay. Before all these are small colony under the Britain rule. Then one after another, these states were liberated and they declared themselves as a independent. Okay, so these what I referred, that American War of Independence, French Revolution, then Russian Revolution, these all you will come to learn in your next class. Now 10th standard you will get to learn. Okay, this is only reference they had given children, where the revolution is mainly took for their rights, human rights. Okay, then finally then finally after the American War of Independence, First World War has been took place. Okay. After that, a Second World War also took place. So after the end of a Second World War, the company UNO, United Nations of a organization, has been established. Okay. United Nation of a organization. Okay. See, as the name itself says, United Nation of organization, in the sense, after a bad impact of a Second World War, all the nation has united together and one institution or organization has been set up. There all the nation have become a member, and there are the 5 members who are called as a permanent member. Okay. So Russia, France, America. Then now India also suggested England. England is one of the permanent member, and India also given suggestion that to be as a permanent member. So it was in on process. Okay, children, at present. So when these 5 states are a permanent member, and finally they formed the organization, and they declared that 10th December 1948 they declared human rights. They declared human rights to all the individual. Is it clear? On 10th December 1948 they declared human rights to all the people of the world, and they after that they announced that they declared as 10th December as a Human Rights Day. Okay? Human Rights Day, and it was universally accepted and universally it was celebrated as a Human Rights Day. Okay? It is because of the UNO decision. Okay? It means that all the human beings, or the person, one who are born as a human being, he was given as a human rights. So either he is an Indian in America, his human rights was considered, or the American is in India, his human rights also considered. That is a human rights. Okay. Now the thing is that there is a difference between human rights and fundamental rights, isn't it? I told you human rights was given to all the human beings who were born on the earth, whereas fundamental rights was given to those citizens who belongs to particular nation, in the sense that assume that I am a citizen of India, so I can enjoy the fundamental rights of India, not of all other nations. But as a human being, I can enjoy the human rights as my own, wherever or whichever part of the world I am. Okay, but I can enjoy the fundamental rights of India only, not of America, England or any other nation. Okay, and in the same way, if suppose Britain people comes to India, they can enjoy only the human rights, not the fundamental rights of India, because he was non-resident of India. Is it clear? That is the difference between human rights as well as the fundamental rights. Okay, and as per the suggestion of a UNO, all the nation has decided to set human rights. Along with that, citizen of a country also provided fundamental rights. Is it clear? So there are, at present there are 6 fundamental rights. Before it was 7th fundamental right. Before it was 7 fundamental rights. In that, property right was also considered as a fundamental right. Okay. Later on, the 44th Amendment which took place in 1978, the 44th Amendment which took place in 1978 of an Indian Constitution, it made that the 7th fundamental right, that is property right, was removed, and it is made as a just right, not a fundamental right. Okay, and they kept 6 a fundamental right. They are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right of religious freedom, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedy. These are the 6 fundamental rights, and in your textbook they also mention the article which they deal about the particular right. Example, Article 14 to 18 they will refer about only about equality, what kind of the equality you may get. Okay, if suppose your equality is violated, what is the constitutional remedies that you can take against the violation? If suppose you are violate the rules, what action that you are going to face? All that was referred in Article 14 to 18. Whereas 19 to 22 it is a right to freedom. Such articles they refer. Okay. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is institution of human rights and protection. Okay. In today's class, children, we are learning the institution which is set up to protect and save the human rights. Is it clear? And that is, first is National Human Rights Commission. Okay, National Human Rights Commission was set up in 1993. Okay, which was that? National Human Rights Commission. National Human Rights Commission. Okay, which was set up in 1933. Is it clear, children? Look at here. National Human Rights Commission, which was set up in 1933, and in this commission, remember that there are a chairman and plus 4 members. Okay, in this commission, remember there are chairman plus 4 members. Who was this chairman? This chairman was retired Supreme Court judge. He was, okay. This chairman was retired Supreme Court judge, and he was appointed by the president. Is it clear? National Human Rights Commission has 5 members totally. In the sense, main structure of a commission was, there are 5 main bodies. In that, first main person was the chairman. Okay, he was retired judge of a Supreme Court, and plus the 4 members. Here he was a judge of a Supreme Court. Okay, plus these 4 members are 4 Supreme Court lawyer they are. Is it clear? They are the lawyer. Either they are in a working condition, either they are working, or they may be a retired person. Okay, and here is clearly Supreme Court retired judge, and up to 70 years, listen here, up to 70 years he was eligible to work as a chairman of National Human Rights Commission. I repeat, up to 70 years he can work as a chairman of a National Human Rights Commission, whereas he is work for 5 years. His working period is up to 5 years. 5 years in the sense, suppose, assume that at the age of a 60 children, at the age of a 60, usually people will get retired. Okay, if you assume that in age of a 60, Supreme Court judge he was retired. Okay, as a Supreme Court judge he get retired. Okay, and in this 60 year, okay, seeing the working or the honesty or the dedication or the progress of these Supreme Court judge, he was appointed by the president. He was appointed by the president as a National Human Rights Commission. Okay, then now he has a 10 year. Okay, now he can work as a 10 years. So up to 62 plus 5, in the sense 5 years he will work as a chairman of these NHRC. Okay, 5 years he will work. Okay, then again after that, again if suppose his work is good, his work is considerable, then what they will do then? Then again 5 year again he was promoted to work for a 5 year. Okay, so up to 70 year he will work as a chairman. After that 70 year he cannot work because already he was retired. Considering his work, he was selected as a chairman. Then he will work. Is it clear? Then these 4 members, they used to assist. They used to guide these chairmen in the progress of a National Human Rights Commission. Is it clear? That is the National Human Rights Commission. And next one is the National Human Rights Commission, which was National Human Rights Commission, which was set up in 1933. Okay, 1 chairman plus 4 members, whereas State Human Rights Commission, these work in central level, whereas State Human Rights Commission also set up together on 1933, which works under a state level. Here also same chairman. Okay, here also same like chairman who was appointed by the governor, not by the president. You know, president is the head of a citizen of a country, whereas governor next to him, or we can say he was the first citizen of a state. So here a chairman was appointed by the governor. Okay, and along with that 1 chairman and 2 members. Here there are the 4 members. Remember children, here there are the 2 members. So totally 3. Here totally 5. Okay, remember each chairman was appointed by the government and governor, and these 2 also appointed by governor itself. But here this chairman was a judge of a high court, not a Supreme Court. Okay, because this is the State Human Rights Commission. So he was retired judge of a high court, plus these 2 also the lawyer of a high court itself. Okay, and his term also same. He can work for a 5 year of a term. He will appointed for a 5 year. Is it clear children? That is up to a State Human Rights Commission. And these 2 organizations of the commission mainly work for the welfare of human rights in a state level as well as a national level. Then another one is National Commission for a Scheduled Caste. National Commission for Scheduled Caste. So these organization commission is mainly set up for the purpose of a welfare of a scheduled caste people, which has been established in 2003. Okay, 2003 and 89 amendment of Article 338, where a scheduled caste and scheduled tribe were formed. So the article of 338, which was amended for the 89th time, they have recognized and they felt that there is a better need of a scheduled caste as well as a scheduled tribe has to be. They felt the need of a changes, so they amended for the 89th time. They have selected one vice president, vice chairman, or we can call, okay, vice chairman plus 3 members. Okay, vice chairman plus 3 members to assist the remaining person of a National Commission of a Scheduled Caste. Okay, here what is the main purpose of this commission was that, where as I told, they is to look after the welfare of a scheduled caste as well as a scheduled tribe, and they mainly look after that whether the scheduled caste people human rights are violated or they are provided basic facility, and they are seen that whether they are economically backward, socially backward. All these cases has been looked after and governed. And remember that these National Commission of a Scheduled Caste as well as a Scheduled Tribe should provide information to both National Human Rights Commission as well as the State Human Rights Commission. Okay, this is mainly set up to provide information regarding scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. District level and state level information has to be provided to National Human Rights Commission. Is it clear? And the next one is National Commission for Scheduled Tribe. Okay, along with these, National Commission Scheduled Tribe also set up in the same year for the same purpose. Okay, National Commission for Scheduled Tribe, which was set up in 2003. Okay, again which was in the 89th amendment of Article 338. Which consists of one chairman, one vice chairman and 3 members. Okay, the structure of a scheduled tribe was National Commission of a Scheduled Tribe, which consists of one chairman, one vice president plus 3 members. Okay, they are appointed by the president. Remember that here both National Commission for a Scheduled Caste, National Commission of a Scheduled Tribe, the president appoint the chairman as well as a vice chairman. That you have to remember. Okay. Then National Commission for Backward Classes. Along with these, another one is National Commission for Backward Class. Okay. Backward class in the sense there are the few class like they are maybe economically backward or socially backward. Only such classes were recognized and they are given benefit from the government, and which was set up in 1993. See, here make a correction that the National Human Rights Commission was set up in 1993. This is also 1993, and the National Commission for Backward Class, that is 1993. I maybe by mistake I wrote it as a 1933. You make a changes, that is 1993. Okay, and these backward classes main aim was to for the betterment of a backward classes. Along with that, National Commission for a Women, National Commission for Women, that has been established in National Commission for Women. Why this has been set up? This setup has been provided for the main purpose of a welfare of a woman, in the sense that women was given equal rights with the men, like seeing the economic condition of a woman, education or the social welfare of a woman also considered in this commission, and which was set up in 1990. Before then this commission was established. Okay. Then the last one is National Commission for Minority. Okay. National Commission for Minority, as the name suggests, National Commission for Minority. This commission was set up mainly for the purpose of upliftment of a minority class such as Muslim, Christian, Sikh, Buddhist, Paris and Jain. For the betterment of these minority classes, this commission has been set up, which was in 1992. Okay, to mainly to protect the rights of a minority class. Okay, children, this is the commission which has been set up for the betterment of a backward classes, backward tribe as well as a scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, and human commission along with that minority classes, mainly to protect the human rights of these commission has been we have set up and we have seen. In this session, what you have to remember mainly is that when it was organized and structured in the sense chairman and the 3 person to assist the chairman, and the term of that chairman was 5 years. Okay, and he was appointed by the president, and when it was established, that you have to remember in this term, and what is the main aim of that commission, that also you have to remember. Okay, this is very easy topic, you read. Okay, I will meet you in the next class with another new topic children. Till then read the entire lesson. Take care.